Well, we're a little bit late. The old engine turned over a little slow today. Amy was up and gone, and then I went back to sleep a little bit. We were going down the road, leaving, so you guys know two things. One, I drove Ollie to baseball practice last night in Ontario, and we drove right back. We were making good time. Everything was going great, and I look up just as I'm going under a sign, and it said 120-minute wait at the border. Now, generally, I'm not that worried because we have Nexus cards, but if you remember, about a month ago, 6 weeks ago, I lost my cards. My Nexus card was one of them. Even if you're a Nexus card holder, you have to have the Nexus card with you. So we couldn't win the Nexus line, so I said, well, we'll divert and we'll go to Queenston-Lewiston. Went to Queenston-Lewiston. There's an hour wait there. Ollie and I didn't get home till after 1 a.m.
Why don't you go over the bridge?
Because, honey, you need a Nexus card to do that. That's the Nexus bridge. You have to have a Nexus card to go on that bridge. So we were just late getting home, late getting up this morning. There was a delay at Starbucks. Anyway, just a lot going on. I'm going to get a lot of dirty looks here when I pull in right now at the barn. So I'll try and finish this up quick. Last night was overall a success. There were some low points. Rosetta did not race well or finish up her mile well. James said that she fizzled out. We scoped her. There was some mucus there. No blood, but there was some mucus there and some pimples. Nothing unusual, I think. Nothing unusual for a young horse this time of year. A 2 out of 5 for mucus could do it, but she should have been able to overpower that field. So I'm waiting to see what the blood work says when we get it back. Let's see if Harry draws it today. We'll have it back this afternoon or Monday. Either way, we'll get it back. He said she was trotting good. She felt good. She just didn't feel like she had a lot of pop. And I said, well, she's going through a transition because this is a filly that ran away with me in Kentucky last year. And now you're telling me that she's docile. That's not generally how it goes. So we'll get a handle on what's up with Rosetta. Ohillno was surprisingly great. And I don't mean that as saying that she's a bad filly. I think she's a great filly. But to move her to the front and then fight off the horses coming to her, that was a hell of a mile and a great mile from her. Very, very pleased with, okay guys, run in and say hi to Mom. Very, very pleased with the performance from Ohillno last night. Chevron's bypass, it's really, really hard to get excited about a filly that's so one-dimensional. You gotta leave, sit, follow close, bottle her up, and pace down the lane, and she runs into traffic like she did last night, or just isn't in a great spot, then she doesn't race good. And I think it's time probably we look at maybe putting her in a claimer in Ontario. I don't think there's any need to continue to hope she can draw good and get a good trip and then onwards to 25. Just put her in a claimer, and I'm not really that concerned. What claimer? Just get her in at Mohawk, hopefully. Get her in where she can do, and if she can't do, then we'll simply sell her. But it just one-dimensional horses are not the easiest things to race at Mohawk, even with James. So that was those two. Country Dancing, I thought, raced absolutely tremendous. Slower mile than Foxy Seaside, but the way she did it was impressive, right? Very impressive. I thought she was a bull when he moved her off cover. She paced hard down the lane and paced away from the horses. What more can you ask than that? A great mile from Country Dancing last night, and I'd love to see her grow from that mile. We know the speed is there. The way she went about winning last night was impressive. She did it perfectly, and James drove her perfectly. Foxy Seaside last night, I think all she did was maybe expose the fact that she's not as good on the front end, and with that open bridle on too, maybe a little vulnerable on the front end. The speed is obviously there, but when James called on her, she kind of floundered a bit, and he said the same thing. He said, she's got that high step, that high quick speed. They usually can't carry that for a long period of time, and it's hard to 2 and 3 move them in a mile too. As she grows up and fills out, she'll be able to do a bit more of that, but I think you have to race her inside her parameters, and I'm certainly not disappointed with the way he drove her. He drove her right, and he showed us what she can and can't do at this point in her career. So obviously, just adjust the way you drive her. James is good at doing that anyway. There won't be a problem with Foxy Seaside. As good a night, I think overall, if you said, hey, what would you like? That was impressive last night, and I was really, really happy with the way the night went. I already know Rosetta's fast. We just have to clean her up a little bit. I already know Foxy Seaside's good. We just know what we can and can't do with her right now. And we know, listen, Chevron's bypass, she just is what she is. Put her in a claimer, win some races, and keep going. and that's the hope moving forward. So good day there. Hopefully we followed up with a good day tonight. A little tougher situation tonight. Sunday looks a little better at Northfield Park. We had some poor draws. I'm not looking to run the table, but it would be nice to get some good finishes out of them. So I gotta go. I'm late. Everybody's gonna be mad when I walk in, but that's life. Pizza's on me today. Take care.